Oh, hello there, Site 42 staff. Welcome to our coffee break. A very necessary coffee break. Hello, Feels and G2 and Ansan and Yasley and Dark Red and Silent Follower. Thank you all for being members. Cyrus, I see you in the chat. Dr. Scott, I see you as well. Good to see you all today. No, Site 1, I did not have a bad day. I had a bad night. Samuel, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as for being the first donation. Make sure to grab yourself a cruller on your way past the commissary. I will get to your donations in just a minute. I have to open the stream first. So, last night we finished testing. No, before you ask, we did not get the tree to scream in last night's testing. And so exhausted and wanting to recover from failure. Not a common thing here at the Foundation. Failure is not a common thing, but it is something that happens. And so wanting to rest and recuperate from this rare L we took. You didn't see that. Rare L's, I said. Rare L's. Well, I went to bed and proceeded. I don't know if you know how the Site 42 is operated. If you're down in the bunkers, you might not know that the top level employees live above ground. It looks like a tech company campus, but we have the top floors and the bottom floors of Site 42. And my dormitory is on the top floor. And so, I went to bed. And some idiot in logistics parked a refrigerator truck across the street in an alley from my dormitory. And they left it on all night. Now, they've done this in the past. I've yelled at them in the past. I've called on-site security in the past, and nothing's been done. So once again, I called on-site security to handle the situation. And, how long does it take to answer a noise complaint in a black site where there's not much going on else? There's no containment breaches. An hour later, no contact. I decide, all right, I'm going to go give this driver a piece of my mind. A piece of my mind to move. And I looked in the cab, and I looked in the windows. There was no one there. It was an empty truck. I just thought they were sleeping in the back and I could tell them to move. No, there was no one there. And so I call on-site security again, and I tell them this new development, and they should get here and do something about this. And then I look at the serial number and the designation on the truck, and I call them. And I call, it's obviously, by now it's 1:30 in the morning. No one answers. The jerks. So finally, on-site security gets there. And we have a nice conversation about how they can't do anything. I am the director of this site. And they're saying, no, the policies of our logistics department and security interactions say that we can't tow this truck. Are you kidding me? What are you even good for? And so they start arguing with the logistics head. I'm sitting here, now 2:33 in the morning, losing my mind. I want to be in bed. And I look at the SkipNet designation of this truck one more time. And the logistics driver who is in charge of this truck lives one street over. And so I tell the on-site security, look, this is the guy. Go wake him up, because he's certainly waking me up. Security goes and drags him out and have a chat. And finally, he moves the truck. It could be anomalous right in prime. In fact, it's not shocking if it is containing something that needs to be refrigerated and is also anomalous. But it doesn't need to be sitting outside of my residence at 12 to 3, 4 in the morning. No, Dr. Scott. No, I do not get to go to bed right now because I have a responsibility to keep this site running, and I have a responsibility to educate you all. I'm just letting you know why I am mainlining coffee like the world is ending. The problem ended up being handled by me because security didn't do anything. So I'm the hero of this story. Ignore the anger and rage in my voice. I'm the hero of this tale. I'm just a grouchy hero. I'm a grumpy protagonist. So if I seem a bit snippy today, I apologize. It's not you students. It's not you staff members. It's not you cadets. It's not you senior researchers. And Sen, if Steve weren't still on that mission, desk was running, I would in fact throw something at Steve right now. That seems right. In the meantime, let me answer some donations real quick. Random Fandom, hugs are a nice social currency that have nothing to do with romance or sex in the world. You can just hug people and when they're your friends. And so hugging is cool. I hug a lot of people at the conventions when I see them. It's nice. Although I did catch COVID last time, so we might need to be more careful about that. Samuel, you asked, what are the differences between the Burning Man between SCB and FBC? What are the differences between the Burning Man between FBC and SCP? Does the FBC have a man on fire too? I know 457 is our Burning Man, but I didn't know that the Federal Bureau of Control had a similar anomaly. I mean, it's not shocking. They have several anomalies that are similar to ours. Control, game, Burning Man. Are you talking about the burn the trash encounter? Is that guy on fire? It's been a couple of years since I've played that game. So there's a furnace, and you have to burn trash. This doesn't look like it's what you were talking about, Samuel. That game is so much fun. It's so much fun to play around with the telekinesis in that game. Such a fun weapon. But I don't see what you're talking about, unfortunately, Samuel. But our Burning Man is very simply a dude made out of fire. And it needs fuel to survive, so we can... What's the phrase I'm looking for? The first director there is Burning Man. Thank you for donating again. That way I could get clarification quickly. I appreciate your service. So first director. Control game. First director. The first director chosen by the board was Broderick Northmore, followed by Zachariah Trench and Jesse Faden. All right, Broderick Northmore, director of the Federal Bureau of Control, preceded Zachariah Trench, first director chosen by the board. Personally despised Trench, I mean, that's fair. Never expecting the former to follow as director and being disgusted with the latter. Northmore lost control of his own paranatural powers and reluctantly agreed to be contained in the NSC power plant and used to power the oldest house. Okay, that's interesting. As I said, it's been years since I've played this game, so I remember it being fun. All right, so retirement. After losing control of his paranatural powers. Floppy disk. Bound himself to send a bowling ball 6 yards through the air. It was a major accomplishment at the time. So what about sealed alive in the power plant? Came the power source. So I don't see any description of his abilities, unfortunately. I'm just seeing that the powers got out of control. Tell me more. Online. Background. Sarcophagus center. Ground level, upper blocks, collectibles, notes. All right, well, he is certainly on fire in that picture. That's for sure. Is there more to say? Well, it seems I'll tell you this. It seems if Broderick here is able to power the oldest house because of its paranatural powers, then it seems like it doesn't need fuel to manufacture the fire. And that means that the Burning Man, who requires fuel to burn, is less powerful than Broderick, who can just flame on, similar to Johnny Storm. So that is my difference, I would think, based on what I've read so far. Robin, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to get yourself some junior mints on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, it's time. 3125, read it, code 55555. I apologize. I know that's a long story, and I can't just read it on stream. It's something I would have to do on the off-stream times. Amy, thank you for being a member, and you put me in a writing challenge. Well, I hope that was fun. I hope it goes well. Good luck. Ria, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cup of tea on your way past the commissary. Ever thought the tree is a masochist that it likes it? If it were a masochist and it liked it, it would scream to keep us doing it. That would be pent up. It would just do that. And, we'd probably help out in that case. We're very kind to our anomalies, obviously. Ignore my current mood. So, I do not believe the tree is into it. The Living Scarecrow, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cup of Italian soda on your way past the commissary. One of my favorite protagonists. Also, I think you should have some Rocky Road ice cream at the commissary. Yes, grumpy protagonists are very fun. They provide a fun contrast to what's going on. I'm in my grumpy protagonist arc today. And I believe I will help myself to some Rocky Road on the way past the commissary. You're thinking good there. Hey, Kodos, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a hot dog platter on your way past the commissary. Is deja vu the brain resisting amnestics? Not necessarily. Deja vu has a lot of different causes that could be anomalous. I mean, you could be seeing into a parallel universe. You could be accidentally time traveling. Deja vu can be caused by amnestic memory bleed through, but it's not the only reason. That's what I'm saying. So you ought to get tested for other anomalous phenomena as well if you are experiencing more than average deja vu. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself an ice cold one to crack open with the boys on your way past the commissary. I'm sorry about your lack of sleep. I hope you get better sleep tonight. Oh, I will find a way. If I have to noise-canceling headphone wrap my head in a mummy's tape blankets, I will blow up the on-site nuke if I require that much arsenal to get a good night's sleep tonight. So sleep tight tonight, and make sure everyone around you knows to keep it down. Otherwise, ain't none of us waking up. Daddy Pudding, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some tapioca on your way past the commissary. Dogs can't operate MRIs, but cats can. Oh, I see what you did there. Okay. Ha ha. Yes. Oh, I like to see the likes going up on that one. You guys have good taste. Daddy Pudding, I really needed that. Maybe it's a little delirium, but chef's kiss moment right there. The dad-father entities joke is now warp reality creating a moderately successful hospital run solely by cats. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have enjoyed that so thoroughly. We're going to have to clean that up. Samuel, thank you for donating again and continuing to elaborate. The Burning Man of theirs can't stop burning, does not need fuel to burn. I'm glad I came to that conclusion on my own along the way, but thank you for double clarifying just in case. No, you do not need to apologize for answering at the same time as me. I appreciate you donating to make sure this conversation goes quicker than me trying to find you in the chat. You are very efficient, and I'm glad we came to a successful knowledge sharing on these like-minded anomalies. The Dire Database, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, and I'd offer to get some coffee at the commissary, but it seems you brought some to me. My cup is full. My cup almost runneth over. You are the hero of Site 42 today. Ay. Do. Rosie, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cup of calming jasmine tea on your way past the commissary. Uncle's choice. Doctor, the examination is complete. Evidence suggests I should be viable for continued work. Also, any recommendations for how to write an SCP? So, Rosie, thank you for being a member as well. So, I guess I'm glad you're ready to work, so get back to work when you can. Take it easy, make sure you don't overextend yourself, because new anomalies do cause issues. You want to make sure you get the parameters before something unexpected happens. So, be cautious. And on writing SCPs, my biggest recommendations are to go to my SCP writing tips for SCP writers video here on this channel. I have a compilation of writing tips you can check out. On top of which, read all the guides on the wiki and the essays, because when you read the guides and essays, that is SCP authors explaining the process to you. There's no better way to learn than from the people who do it. And finally, read so many SCPs. Read just so many, because the SCP format to writing is a little wonky. The bureaucratic horror and bureaucratic comedy of it all. So even good writers can come in and be a little bit confused about the format. I remember back in the early days of the channel, I ran a critique lab with an actual SCP, with an actual, I believe they were like a master's or a doctorate. And their SCP was formatted in a way that was so accurate to a research paper, basically, that it was a drag to read. Fiction and real life are different for a reason. It was a beautiful document, but it also was not fun to read. And so I gave that note. Now, you got to trust me only so far. Outside of character, I am just a theater college dropout. But yes, that is my experience. Even the script writing that I had skills in when I came to the community, it took me a minute to grasp the format, grasp the narrative forms that will make a good SCP. So if you read more SCPs, you get used to the cliches and the tropes, and you learn how to implement them properly. Good luck on your journey. Robin, thank you for a very generous second donation. Go back to the commissary and grab yourself a full steak dinner with all the fixins and side dishes and a nice glass of wine on your way past the commissary. Challenge: homebrew senior researcher creation. I give you a name and concept, you generate the lore. Dr. Eliana Mueller. She is a woman who is an excellent researcher, but she's over-nurturing to the junior researchers under her lead. Good luck. So, a researcher like that in Foundation lore is going to have a similar story arc to the recent television show The Pit, the character Dr. Mohan, otherwise known as Slow-Mo. It is putting too much effort into an anomaly or a researcher under you to the detriment of neglecting other patients, other anomalies, other staff members who need your tutelage. We have to spin a lot of plates here at the Foundation, and so you can't focus on one thing too long, or you will just be dropping plates left and right. And so that character is going to have a problem in stories where they need to do certain things to balance that out, but they also need to have successes in the way that they find out information that other more scattered researchers do not, because there needs to be strengths and weaknesses to their character. So weaknesses in letting some plates fall and they feel really bad about it later, but also successes that they find the information no one else could find because they weren't digging deep enough. So that is how you knock that out. Now, there's a lot to fill in with different character relationships and stuff, and that's where you just start writing like a D&D campaign. You set up a scenario, you have your character interact with someone, you have those characters do the next thing, then the next thing, then the next thing, cause and effect. Think about the Matt and Trey Parker story format rules of South Park. You have an event, and then there's a but or a so, never and then X happens. Because and then assumes that something happened at random, where but and therefore or so are caused by the previous event. So it goes on very cause and effectively, which makes the story mean more in the end. I hope that gives you a good basis for how to build this character that you're aiming at. It's a fun one. I like doing that. If you read my story, Ignorance is Bliss, on the wiki, that's how I wrote that. As I started with, this is the setting, now here's where the character starts, and let's see where they end up piece by piece by piece. I've never seen someone shotgun a coffee before. I'm impressed. Desk, I'll have you know, number one, I drink like a camel. It is a problem. I prefer bubbly or beverages with ice in them because it slows me down. Because I will just chug liquid like a camel so fast, it is unreal. And on top of which, only for coffee, I am basically the mother of dragons. My throat does not burn. And so, coffee's going down. Zerdrin, thank you for being a member, and I'm sorry that it's a rainy, draggy day and tired. I am also very tired, although it's not rainy over here, it's quite warm. But I feel your pain regardless. All right, where was I in the donos? I gotta catch up, Jonathan, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a hot cat on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, nice to see you. What would you do if one of my junior researchers wanted to cuddle Mallow or that thing? They want to cuddle that thing? No, no. You saw nothing. Well, if they want to cuddle Mallow, I would tell them to give it up because it's an intangible, incorporeal being. Or I guess they could get on Mallow's level, meaning transition to that level of reality, which I don't even know that we have done with Mallows yet. Although enough people write about it, I'm sure someone's found a way. Ugh. Do not fraternize with the anomalies, first and foremost. And second, if they want to cuddle with that thing, then I suggest we let them. I suggest we let them to see what happens and how effed up they come out of it. Testing start. The Kid YouTuber, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a, let's say, a charcuterie board on your way past the commissary. Hey, read this out loud. I love SCPs, but my fave is SCP-2521. Well, I think you have, luckily for both of us, that Clef's mimetic filters on this stream protect us from getting got. Because it would have got me for saying it. It also would have got you for typing it. So it is a dangerous scenario that you are playing with. You're lucky this chat is protected. Zinc Adam, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Hello, Dr. Sherman. What do you have to drink today? I have so much coffee. I have so much coffee. When this stream is done, go back to the beginning of stream and listen to the story of last night. And you'll know why I'm having so much coffee. Give me one moment. My coffee's actually empty now, and I've got a thermos over here. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump you guys. It's just a busy day. It's a tired day. Just get more liquid goodness in my life, please. Oh, sweet fancy Moses. Protect me from non-caffeination. It's important. The lifeblood is back. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're safe. Okay. Vansler, this is the same pen you use to get tricks? That's very cool. I know this is a common type of corporate pen. You know, we don't need to get everything from fancy-dancy suppliers. We can get normal pens, so it's cool that you have the same one. Let me check this real quick. Desk. I meant to say thank you for having a link to that writing tips compilation for the chat. You are the best moderator that has ever been. I say until you say that you switch my coffee to decaf. Go to hell, Clef. Oh, you monster. Even if you're lying is a joke, you're a monster. Okay. Samuel, thank you for donating again. Last question in regards to FBC, our plans, giving ideas for a game, of a hostile takeover of the oldest house. So, number one, just like the unusual incidents unit at the UIU, we don't want to take them over because we don't want to deal with the federal government being involved. That is just too much effort for too little return. So we don't really want to take over the FBC because we do a better job than they do. But it would be nice to get our hands on their anomalies for research purposes. Put that fridge and the statue in the same room and see what happens. Probably nothing, though. Neither of them has eyeballs. That being said, we do need more SCP games in the world. And so, that's part of our plan here at Site 42, is as we get bigger and bigger, my goal is to help indie gamers with finances to make things happen. That would be very fun, because I'm not a game designer, but I'll help a game designer. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. My cat and I send good vibes to you. Can't stay all stream today, sadly. May the cuddles of cute cats and purrs come for you to sleep. That sounds like a good night tonight. I'll keep that in mind. And as a heads up for you guys, stream is currently a little less than 90 minutes from complete. We've got a short coffee break today, but Desk will be streaming afterwards. So after we're done with Site 42's coffee break, you can jump to Desk for some of that. I just realized if SCP has Greek gods and many Jizai, then does that mean all religions are true at the same time? PS, is the budget fixed yet? PPS, the Foundation is in cahoots with the government. A, yeah, basically all the religions are right. They just don't know it. And they need to stop fighting over it. It's weird. They could all just get along. They don't need to be so fussy. Secondarily, the budget is not fixed yet. We are still working through the issues that the Overseers and Dr. Moon Moon have thrown at us, but we will persevere. We will find a way. I'm still working on some Site 42 merchandising ideas that won't release several anomalous entities into the wild to cause mayhem. That's a big problem with anomalous merchandise, is sometimes there's a link and it causes issues. You don't want to let that loose. But as I get ideas, you'll be the first one to hear about them. Montage, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a tall Mountain Dew on your way past the commissary. Could SCP-343 take care of 096? Yes, I believe it could, but it won't because it's a jerk. 343 is never very helpful. Very annoying. Zinc Adam, thank you for donating twice again. Much appreciated. Hello, Dr. Sherman. I was wondering, do you drink coffee? How do you drink it? That stuff is nasty. I suggest some tea to help calm you and keep you up. So, I do very often prefer tea in the good times. Coffee is a break in case of glass emergency beverage. And right now, if I'm going to do coffee, it's just black coffee. You don't need anything in it. You're just drinking it for the caffeine. Just get it done. Who needs the sugar? Just hot and cold bean juice. That's what makes the world go round in days like this. Rosie, thank you for donating again. Tried making a wiki account, but it won't work. Ideas? Make sure to read the rules page for joining the site very thoroughly. You might be falling for the wiki.dot glitch, where you can't even apply if your email has a number in it or if it's from Hotmail. Wiki.dot just doesn't accept email addresses with numbers or from Hotmail. It's just a glitch that hasn't been fixed in years. If you don't have that problem, chugging that coffee, then you might be messing something up on your application. The application process is very rigorous and very strict. So make sure you are following it to a T, and therefore that'll be your way through the door probably. If it's not the glitch, it's clean up the application. Hazama is an SCP researcher. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a biscotti on your way past the commissary. Jonathan, thank you for donating again. Horrible idea. We give the Chaos Insurgency that thing and hope it deals with them. Honestly, I like the idea. I like where your head's at, but I don't trust them with it. If they're able to make SCP-729-G... If they're able to weaponize that thing, there's no telling what they could do. And although I think they're ridiculous and wouldn't be able to pull it off, we can't take that chance. I like where your head's at, though. Montage, thank you for donating again. So which SCP sites are canon? Like, is Site 2 from SCP Secret Lab? Also, which sites would be perfect for a new SCP game, in your opinion? Well, to answer your first thing first, Site 42 is a great location for any SCP game. I'm just saying, not biased or anything. Secondly, you've got to remember that the SCP Foundation canon is very loose. If you think about how contradictory comic books are, and how in this comic X could beat X, but in this other comic it's the other way around, the Foundation's canon is looser than that. And so you end up in a scenario where canon is whatever you decide is canon in your head. Your head canon might as well be canon. Someone might argue if you're picking something that completely contradicts other canon, but there's also nothing they can do about it. If you want to say that SCP-096 was cured of its shyness by the Overcoming Shyness book from the Tenda village, and when it became no longer shy, it started doing TikTok dances on social media, that is a canon that exists in the Site-42 verse. It's not the only one, but it's one of them that I've made up, and it's very funny. That being said, I know that if it's on the wiki, it exists. There's a list of SCP sites on the wiki that people have built their canons around, and they tell you what anomalies are on them. So you can look up the site database on Wikidot, and that'll help you out. Site-42 is canon because I say it is. Site-2 is canon because Secret Lab says it is. Whatever, baby, you can have whatever you like. You can have whatever site you like. Yeah. Okay. I've made it through the donos. I am the best site director there is. Congratulations. Amy, yeah, you mentioned your writing challenge earlier, so I'm interviewing Abraham Lincoln. Now, am I interviewing Abraham Lincoln back in that time period, like I'm back in time somehow? Is it that Abraham Lincoln has been teleported to the future, and I am interviewing Abraham Lincoln nowadays? Is it that Abraham Lincoln is a dinosaur, as is canon in SCP, checking the database, 6232. SCP-6232 is a... No, not that one. No, not that one. This is a different SCP about Abraham Lincoln. Oh, interesting. No. No. Okay, I know it's called Sic Semper Tyrannosaurus. I know it's called Sic Semper Tyrannosaurus. So I just got to look that up. Tyrannosaurus. 2578? No. Yes, no. No, it's not that. Which... Is it gone? What in tarnation? I didn't just dream this. Where? How? I'm sorry, I'm having a reality bender event. I mean, you are correct, Lieutenant VR. It is neutralized, but neutralized SCPs don't disappear off the database. I'm going to put in the word Semper and see what I find. 6861. Does SCP-6861 still exist? Don't tell me it's gone. Okay, it's still here. Oh, thank God. Guair, wonderful article. And it does still exist. Okay, SCP-6861 is Tyrannosaurus Rex, Abraham Lincoln. So, yeah. Is that what you're talking about, Amy? Is that what it's about? I don't know. Apparently there's a lot of SCPs about Abraham Lincoln. No, you teleported him into the future. Okay, that's good. Hey, Amber. Good to see you in the chat, and thank you for being a member. Waiting on the doctor. See you at another point in space-time. We'll see you at the next one, Amber. Hope you're doing well. I'm sure I asked this before, but I don't know the answer. I know Benjamin had a magical wish-granting penis. You are correct about that. The SCP about Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granting penis. And I believe you said GW can fly. I believe George Washington can fly. But what were the other founding fathers' magical abilities? Well, let me first go to the article with Benjamin Franklin's wish-granting SCP. No, SCP. 3313. So, ritual to resurrect several of the United States founding fathers in effort to complete a coup of the U.S. government. Oh, relatable. Ritual were George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Alexander Hamilton, and SCP-3313-1. All 5 individuals escaped Chaos Insurgency custody and are currently at large. I don't see the other president's abilities here. Ha! That's a Sumerian story, Clef tells me. Wonderful. That tracks. Oh my. 051. Thank you for your extremely generous donation to the Site 42 coffers. Make sure to grab yourself a trip to the bougie buffet in the back room of the commissary. Just tell them I sent you, and that's where we keep the good stuff. Hello, and quick one. We did lose one of our shell companies recently because I cannot find the scaffolding, construction, and power money transfer file in the database. Oh no. Did someone do a heck and hack? Did someone run away with the budget there? Scaffolding, construction, and power. Let me check the database here. Who was in charge of that product? Okay. No. No, this can't be. What do you mean it's a Dr. Moon project? Well, you're never working at the Foundation again. How did he get a transfer? Where did he end up? Oh, no. I thought that Moon transferred to another site. Did Moon run away to another group of interest? But who? But where? Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's not good at all. Oh, I feel faint. That rat bastard. Okay. Oh, Overseer, we're going to look into this. This is new information. I appreciate you bringing it to my attention with a high priority donation. We will fix this. We will fix this. He won't get away with it. Ugh. 087-J, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a cherry Coke on your way past the commissary, and welcome back. Kanai, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a squirt on your way past the commissary. The lemon beverage, don't be naughty about it. Don't fraternize with anomalies either. It is a delicious lemon or grapefruit flavored beverage, that's all. And yes, you're welcome for the hard work. We're doing our best. (10-4), Dr. Sherman, I leave that to your capable hands. I'll do my best, Overseer. How is Mallow? Well, Titan TV man from hell. Looking into the SkipNet database for Mallow. It seems containment of the Mallow app is working optimally. Obviously, there's no such thing as perfect because it keeps respitting, but we're getting it down in record time with the new artificial intelligence constructs that we've devised. And so that is reducing instances. Of course, there is no end, and we have to contain people who are held up with such entities. But so far, seems like we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Onyx, thank you for being a member. And do you know what happened to the anomaly involved in the McDonald's Sprite incident? I am unfamiliar with this incident you're talking about. Is there an incident somewhere I don't know about on site? I mean, I do remember it being a little spicier than usual in the commissary the other day, but it didn't, nothing, no one, am I remembering this wrong? I thought 106 breached containment. Isn't that what the acid leak in the commissary was? Was that McDonald's Sprite? Oh. Oh, that's worse than I thought. We'd better get them to remove that, I guess. Ugh. Kilo Bravo, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself anything but McDonald's Sprite at the commissary, apparently. Can someone tell me why my copy of the database page goes 053, 054, 056? I feel like there's a number missing. Nah, looks right to me. I don't see any problems. 087-J, thank you for donating again. I found the nuclear launch codes. That's so funny. You think they're codes for the on-site nukes. You've fallen for yet another wacky diversion to hold up you anomalies from blowing up the site. Thoroughly japed again by site director Dr. Theron Sherman of Site 42. Oh, you saw nothing. Heard nothing. What is SCP-420? Well, gamers get things done. SCP-420 is, honestly, to me, a little disappointing. Just in that you expect a funny 420 joke, and that's what SCP-420-J is. But SCP-420 is just a bottle of whiskey that gives you really, really bad skin cancer when you drink the whiskey. And that just disappoints me because I like whiskey in general, bourbon specifically. And so I do not like the idea of a whiskey that kills me. Just not a fan. E the Creature, thank you for becoming a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your service and your membership. Buzzin' Bia, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a set of beer cheese sliders on your way past the commissary. I found a hand spider in my salad. What should I do to not die? I don't have an amethyst on me right now. Okay, listen. This is a last-ditch effort, but the croutons in the salad yesterday were kind of rough. I would basically say they're rocks. So toss some croutons at it and run. And don't tell the commissary I insulted their croutons. It's just, I don't need to deal with that today. Robin, thank you for donating again. Eat some raw garlic. Are you accusing me of being some sort of vampire? Is that what you're asking me to test right now? I'll have you know, I am at least partially Italian, and I love garlic. You would know if I was a vampire. That's for sure. Also, you do have an 055 take your nest sticks. Oh. Is that so? Huh. Okay. I'll wait for those to kick in. Kilo Bravo, thank you for donating again. I received a selfie from a strange, malnourished figure. Upon looking at it, I started hearing some crying and screaming. What should I do? Well, be lucky. If 096 is sending you selfies, that means that it's overcome its shyness, and that means all you've got to do is get ready for a rippin' dance party. Because, oh boy, even if it's crying, it's still... I was going to say, if it's still crying, even if it's crying, it's still grinding. But I don't like that. It's barely a good rhyme, let alone what it entails. Don't fraternize with the anomalies. Unscrupulous Treasurer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Patchwork Critter, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Can you tell whoever... Oh, and Unscrupulous Treasurer, grab yourself an ice cream cone, and Patchwork Critter, grab yourself some gumdrop buttons. Can you tell whoever is on site to stop stealing my lunches? I will start putting anomalous substances as bait if it won't stop. Honestly, put a cognitohazard in your lunch sack that when they open it and see it, they start acting like a chicken. We'll know who it is real quick. I authorize this use of pranking to solve your problem. Oh, Buzz and Bee, thank you for donating again. Thanks. It ate them, and I was able to put it back into its holding tank, but I ran out of croutons, and I found 150 baby hand spiders in the same salad. Do you know if they can eat ice? I have some on hand. You know, ice is rocks. Ice is water rocks, but it's rocks. I think it'll work. Raw garlic is very good for a gum tooth infection. You're right, Desk. It very much is. And I agree wholeheartedly with the other thing you said that the chat does not get to know, because Foundation secrets. The Computer Guy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some birdseed on your way past the commissary. What agents get set for first contact with SCPs? It depends on the anomaly. If there's not a sort of... If it's a random object, we usually send agents first. Not mobile task force agents, but agents. Think like standard FBI type. They go in suits, they go in casual wear, but they investigate the scene first, they spot it, and then if we need armed troops, that's when they are called in. But we want to keep it low-key if we can, to not raise suspicion unnecessarily. Of course, sometimes there's a disaster, and that's when we do send in armed troops immediately. So there is that. 051, thank you for donating again. Sending a low-level message to remember all members of staff to get your medical checked up by a med bay doctor. Ethics committee went at staff mental state again during last meeting. Definitely. Make sure to get your checkups properly. Do not dodge them, because you never know if there might be some anomaly right out of your corner of your eye vision that you're ignoring, and it could cause you trouble down the way. Robin, thank you for donating again. Director, Dr. Elena Mueller is in the infirmary due to protecting a junior researcher during a recent breach event. She suffered some neurological damage. Also, I just like to snack on garlic. Well, that's nice for you. One of my friends in the dormitory likes to make a snack of just cooking garlic in butter and just eating the garlic that way. That's a little too much for me, but it's good for them. And, I hope Dr. Mueller recovers. That's hard when there's neurological damage, but make sure that they go through their rehab properly to return to full efficiency. Oh my. Fun time with CD, Joni, Elvarita, all of you. Thank you for subscribing to Site 42. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Overseer, that includes you, Sherman. I'll go to Medbay after the office hours. I'll go, okay? They know I'm coming. Bonzo, thank you for subscribing as well. Spooky, wow. Thank you for gifting 5 Site 42 memberships. If you claim a Site 42 membership in this moment, make sure to shout out Spooky. The great gifter Spooky has spoken. Raymond and Snookmeister, thank you for subscribing as well. Why, hello, Dr. Sherman. I didn't know you were here. How are you, Doctor? Well, Vivi needs sleep. Your name is very appropriate for how exhausted I am. And we're having a short coffee break. We've got about a little less than an hour left until we break over and you guys can go stream with Clef afterwards. I'm sure Clef won't do anything to harm you on stream. But until then, I'll hang out with you guys and answer more SCP questions. Bonzo Builder, can't you knock over Peanut? You absolutely can knock over Peanut. It is just a statue after all. The problem is that you make the statue on its little nubbin arms and its feet, and it's just this little diagonal missile that will hit you right in the knees. And so it is a situation where, you know, you have a snap neck or your knees are broken backwards. Neither is pleasant, but the upright version you immediately, the broken knees, you're going to be stuck there a while. So you don't want that. You don't want that. It's like a missile. Boom. What exactly is Prometheus Labs? Well, Director, thank you for being a member. And Prometheus Labs is one of many groups of interest in the SCP Foundation. Prometheus Labs SCP database entry. Founded in 1892, the company focused exclusively on researching and developing anomalous technology for commercial and private sale. Prior to the events of data expunge in 1998, Prometheus Labs was considered to be one of the most prolific competitors of the Foundation. In a large public profile as a purveyor of high-quality electronic, medical, and pharmaceutical, automotive, optical, and industrial goods produced from anomalous research. Prometheus Labs also had contracts from various worldwide militaries, primarily the United States. It developed numerous specialized technologies for these groups aimed at enhancing their military capabilities, such as Redacted. Prometheus Labs was affiliated with most of the major groups of interest, having engaged in lawsuits with Wondertainment Industries, purchased objects from Marshall Carter and Dark, worked with the Church of Maxwellis Writ to develop brain-machine interfaces, designed low-cost food alternatives for the Mana Charitable Foundation, sold tools and supplies to Are We Cool Yet?, the Global Occult Coalition and the Chaos Insurgency, and waged industrial espionage against GRU Division P. Following data expunge and the resulting cover-up, many of the projects in development were seized by the Foundation and surviving personnel taken into the Foundation's employment. It is believed that other groups of interest also stole projects and research from other facilities. Prometheus Lab, so essentially, Prometheus Lab is a defunct anomalous technology group. But they have a lot of inventions that us and others are using. And depending on what universe or canon you are in, will also depend how exactly defunct they are. Patchwork Critter, thank you for donating again. I got in trouble earlier in the week with one of the higher level researchers for making our own anomaly acronym foundations as a joke, like the ARC Anomaly Research Center. Did I do something wrong? Listen, you do not, after the Chaos Insurgency, you do not even want to play like you are thinking about starting your own alternate foundation. We have had enough split-offs, enough defections, enough traitors, that you want to be careful with anything that sounds like, I hate to say it, a thought crime. So be careful with that. You're toeing the line there, and you're going to get burned. RENB, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a candy cane on your way past the commissary. Screaming out my window, plus breathing under bed, what do I do? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know exactly what that means, and I don't know what to say. Read my dono, Dr. Sherman, I'm scared. Screaming out my window, breathing under bed, what do I do? So are you screaming out your window? Are you breathing under bed? Is there something screaming out your window while you breathe under the bed? Are you screaming at, are you breathing under the bed while someone else is screaming out the window? I'm just confused about the situation. It sounds like we should call security to check on you because you might be having some sort of mental break. The computer guy, thank you for donating again. Agents for first contact with human anomalies, I meant. If it's a humanoid anomaly, then you're going to deal with, we're going to try and talk you into coming into custody peacefully. And that means that we're going to send agents, if we can, who will, tell you, we know about your powers. We know the danger they can lead to. We know the danger to your family it could lead to. And so it's best to come with us where we can protect you, keep you safe, help you with your powers and mitigating them, stuff like that. And so usually it'll be, again, the basic agents, unless the entity becomes hostile. If the entity becomes hostile, then it's time for the troops again. Fixu, any good guide on flipping the pen? Well, it is a practice you've just got to get used to coordination-wise. But what I do is I start with a pen in hand position. I pinch the pen between my fingers. I like starting it there so that I can always grab the pen again to click it or write. And then you learn to wiggle the pen horizontally and catch it on the next finger. And you catch over the top and under the bottom. Over the top, under the bottom, and you can reverse it. Over the top, under the bottom. Over the top, under the bottom, until you can just keep it going, both ways. Not Mr. Cheese, would you like to meet Ephraim TV, director and creator of SCP The Hallway, in Discord? If they want to chat, sure. I like connecting with people who make SCP film work. If they want to chat with me, I don't mind chatting with them. We can talk shop, support each other's projects, stuff like that. I'm happy to help out. I haven't seen their film yet. I haven't done the reaction to it, so, I mean, I hear good things. We'll have to see. Esmeralda Wolfie, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a full roast chicken on your way past the commissary. Hello, Dr. Sherman. Have you heard about the new experiments they are doing with SCP-9522? They're going to let them play video games and put them on YouTube. Well, strangely, the database doesn't go up to 9522 yet. Is your foundation, are you adjacent to another universe where we've contained more anomalies? I'm not certain of that, but what I do know out of hand is that if there was going to be any video gaming and putting them on YouTube, it would have to be in the behind-the-scenes version of the internet that only the Foundation is allowed to use, because we would not allow an anomaly to stream in public. That is a blatant breach of secrecy. And so that is not anything we would typically allow. You'll have to talk to your site director about anything like that. That sounds a little iffy when it comes to Foundation protocols. 051, thank you for donating again. For the bed guy, sending Mobile Task Force ASAP, stay calm. Okay, it sounds like RENB that 051 has taken interest in your situation and is sending a Mobile Task Force your way, so maybe they know more than I do. It seems like a serious situation if they're working like that. 087-J, thank you for donating again. Can you make an SCP class on Patreon? Well, typically, Foundation staff members are staff members whether or not they're anomalous. So if you're a level 5 researcher on the Patreon, you could still be an SCP/anomalous. That is just kind of the way the cookie crumbles in the Foundation verse sometimes. I mean, we have Clef here, obviously. Anomaly as well as staff member. Phantom Reactor, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a pizza ball on your way past the commissary. What if Spider-Man met SCP-105 Iris in the field? Does Iris have any sort of association with Spider-Man? Is Iris a fan of Spider-Man or something? Is that something I don't know about? Because I don't feel that there's any crossover otherwise. Phantom Reactor. Oh, because Iris is a blonde with a camera. I see what you're doing here. Well, in that case, I see that you've got a point. They would probably bond over a love of photography, to be fair. And maybe we could use that while they're talking to sneak up and capture Spider-Man. So, maybe you're onto something here. I'll take notes on this one. This could be fun. Dark Red, thank you for being a member. It's my girlfriend's birthday, so I gotta hop off to get ready to call her. Have a good night, Dr. Sherman, or at least a better one than last night. I will certainly try, and happy birthday to your GF. Do. Esmeralda, I don't have a site yet. Has taken my SPC 9522. All right, well, you need to contain the anomaly before we can worry about any protocols for containment. So first things first, get it contained properly. That'll help. Oh, hello again, Yellow. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a lemon snow cone on your way past the commissary. Hey, Sherman, like you said last night, the Foundation did come and contain me. I'm sitting in my containment cell right now, but they left my internet-connected devices with me. Did they do that on purpose? Well, in your entry interview, you must have struck them as someone who would be fine interacting with the Foundation SkipNet database. So I'm happy to hear that you are a suitably benevolent anomaly as a concept that will chat with us in stream without causing any problems. So please do not cause problems that get your electronic devices restricted. Agent Silver, Dr. Sherman, you got Pizza Day on your site? Of course we have Pizza Day on our site. Pizza Day was just a couple weeks ago because, you know, the Infinite Pizza Box has to be passed from site to site to site for Pizza Day. And so we're in a situation where once the rotation comes around, we will have Pizza Day yet again. And there will be much rejoicing. Yay! Noah and Emerald, thank you for subscribing to Site 42. Welcome to our staff. Excuse me, Dr. Sherman, if you don't mind, may I ask you to consider protogens to be anomalies or an SCP? Well, I assume this is a self-interested question, Blizzard the Protogen. Are you checking to see if you will be contained or not? Now, I am not exactly sure what a protogen is. A fictional species created by Malice Risu that became popular in the furry fandom. Species a mix of organic and mechanical, having lots of fur and organic elements, but also armor, lights, and a head visor. So, sci-fi furries. Gotcha. Well, if a protogen were to exist, then it would be a you know, it would be a humanoid animal with cyborg properties that is clearly anomalous in our reality anyways. I don't know, maybe there's a reality out there where that's normal. But here, that's anomalous. And although I got no problem with furries, furries are cool, I enjoy their passions. If the protogens are actually protogens and not fake, like people cosplaying, then they need to go in a box. Now, because they are outside of the SCP fandom, they're not on the SkipNet database, they would be anomalies, but not SCPs. Because we don't take things from other fandoms and steal them and make them SCPs. That would be rude. Phantom Reactor, thank you for donating again. Venom, Spider-Man versus Abel. Who would win? And popcorn. Well, yes, I would like some popcorn for such a matchup. Abel is pretty vicious in a fight. And, you know, the weapon spawning does counter Venom's formation of symbiote weaponry. On top of which, Abel is much, much older, I believe, than the Venom symbiote. And Abel respawns while Venom Spider-Man would not. So I think just in a grueling match of repeating, unless it's just like a one-and-done death battle, I think eventually Abel is going to wear down Venom Spider-Man. Doo-doo. Haha, desk. All Abel has to do is scream. Abel does have a mighty roar. That is true. Oh, that's good coffee. Oh, bless you, coffee god. Is the coffee god an SCP? Can we contain it? Can I have it as a personal valet to Coffee Town? Would be nice. Dihydrogen monoxide. Thank you for what I believe is your first donation to today's stream. And if that is the case, yes, please grab yourself a heaping cup of Joe on your way past the commissary. Coffee, not Joseph. Did the budget cut include AC units too? It's 29 degrees in my room. How are we supposed to contain anomalies effectively if we're overheating? You know, that's a good question, but I have not messed with the thermostat. Trust me, as a Florida man, you don't mess with the AC. I don't care what the budget is. You keep it cool in here, otherwise we're going to have problems. So with that being said, I believe that you need to, I'm glad you let me know. I'll page maintenance, so come take a look. E the Creature, thank you for donating a membership. You are a Site 42 hero, and make sure you thank E the Creature if you're the one who claimed their membership. Dihydrogen monoxide, I did understand Celsius even as a heathen American, if only because 29 degrees is cold in Fahrenheit, and I know water boils at a certain temperature as well. So I got the context clues. I had to work hard for it. Indecisive, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a blueberry muffin on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, can I borrow 294 for a coffee shop? No, we have more testing to do on it, and we already have plenty of coffee shops on the campus. So stop by any of the new ones. The new one in the East Wing is pretty darn good. The East Wing's new coffee shop is superb, so I would suggest going there. Yellow, thank you for donating again. Don't worry, like I told the staff last night, I'm just a color. Also, the lemon snow cone was good. Snow cone was good. Glad to hear it. Excellent. Yep, as long as you chill, we are going to have a good run. Oh my word. Overseer, thank you for donating very generously yet again. My word. You know what? You can go back to the commissary this time, and I heavily suggest you just take your pick. That the fineries are yours. You have made yourself known today to have impeccable taste in YouTube, and I will leave your impeccable taste to choose food as well. Note to all staff, the Multiverse Foundation bulletin boards have been voted by all members of the O5 Council. We invite each of you to check with the BBS. The address will be transmitted to Dr. Sherman in good time. All right, you heard the man. Person, entity, the overseers. It's hard to tell, really. And so, check your sources and make sure you are ready for the changes. Super Shin, I have never tried to get a cup of God from the machine because it's too general a term and I don't know which God it's going to give me. Is it going to give me Apollo, who we have in containment, a cup of sunshine? Is it going to give me Aphrodite, a cup of some sort of love potion number 9? Is it going to give me a cup of milk because of milk Jesus? Is it going to give me a cup of bread because of bread Jesus? Is it going to give me a cup of something I really don't want to know about from Vor Jesus? There's too many variables, and I don't trust it. So I have not done that. Artemis, thank you for donating again. First donation of the day. Let me double check before I confirm. I think this is your second donation of the day. I'm very tired, so remembering things is difficult at the moment. First donation of the day. Make sure to grab yourself a delightful hot pickle on your way past the commissary. Which SCP has the most data censored in its file? Oh, that's tough. I'm not sure I know about that one. Desk, you got anything? Most redaction, my first thought is 2317, the sequel to 231. I think because, if I'm remembering right, Author Clef wrote 231 to be about, okay, this is a big secret, even in the Foundation, the dark, dark secret and redactions. But it didn't land exactly the way he wanted because, oh my God, don't read the discussion of that article. Oh, don't read the discussion of that article. So, in the sequel, he made alterations to make that happen. Thus, even the Foundation redacting things from itself, it's the same thing. So I'm going to guess that one, just off the top of my head. 2317. Gamer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some crispy bacon on your way past the commissary. Would Ferdinand the Cannibal survive being touched by 049 the Doctor? I really don't think so. I don't believe Ferdinand is particularly, anomalously durable in ways, but I think 049 is a fairly overpowering death. And while I'm looking that up here real quick to confirm my suspicions, and the Cannibal... Standard weapons have little effect. Cooperation is easy to attain through a charade. Subject is currently under the impression that it has been made the King of France. That his containment area is actually a grand palace. So it is... Standard weapons have little effect, but they do have an effect. So keep that in mind. Yes, I'm going to throw out the hypothesis that 049's touch could end Ferdinand. Not that we would try it, because we don't want to lose the ability to research either anomaly. Where was I here? Gosh, I appreciate you guys' generosity today. I'm doing my best to catch up while throwing in some other questions as well. Dr. Scott Jones, your friends really are understanding your fandom for the SCP Foundation and Site-42. Perhaps soon enough you will absorb them into the fandom as well. They will become one of us. They will learn to live in the dark so they can let others live in the light. We will teach them to secure, contain, protect. Or maybe not. Who knows? Some things are just for us sometimes. Esmeralda, thank you for donating again. Well, in the SCP-9522 report, he has been put in a site, but that site is still unknown, so need to figure that out. Yeah, you got to know what site they're in, otherwise you're not going to be able to locate them. Remember, writing SCP documents is a lot of work, and you've got to be detailed, because you can't leave anything else out, otherwise that's how containment breaches happen. So make sure you do your best to clarify everything there. Holy free holies, Gamer! Thank you for gifting 5 Site42 memberships. If you clap up one of those memberships, make sure to thank Gamer77. Big ups. Big ups. Spooky, thank you for what I believe is donating again, right? Donating again? You did a membership, so that's what I remember so far. I will confirm. Man, brain dead. Thank you, Coffee, for getting me at least somewhat functional. All right, so yes, your first donation of the day. Make sure to grab some fruitcake on your way past the commissary. Was there a 42/A/black? Some 04C operative is nerving me out about it. I don't know what 42/A/black means. I'm going to need some more intel before I can answer your question, but maybe Desk will get an answer from you while I continue through the chat, and we'll try and update that. SCP-420-J, Coffee Gang is going hard right now. And in fact, you've reminded me that my cuppeth run dry. But not for long. And so I pour for you some coffee warm, warm and awake, for all of our sake. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Where was I? The Noj, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a packet of M&Ms on your way past the commissary. 4th stream in a row. Is this your 4th stream in a row with us? If so, congratulations. I know for a fact that due to my current trend, I have been streaming for what I believe is 14, 16, 17 days straight so far. We are keeping the record even if it's a short stream. I am here to talk to you, Site42 fam. In between making content, I will find time for one a day to say hi to you, answer your SCP questions, and see how you're doing. Desk is clarifying that 42/A/back sounds like a Global Occult Coalition designation, but all he has seen is SCP-42, which is a horse. I didn't know SCP-42 was a horse. That's funny. Oh! You saw nothing. You saw nothing. Let me get this off my chat. It's being weird. Where was I? Phantom Reactor. Thank you for donating again. Have you ever questioned Parker Industries about Spider-Man's identity or asked for technological help? Well, why would we talk to Parker Industries? I mean, what do they know? Weird. Jonathan, thank you for donating again. Demonium anticum audi vocem meam ex tenebris surge et pare voluntate meae. Don't question. No question. Indecisive, thank you for donating again. I may have summoned the coffee god. Send help, please. Run into my office wing, and I'll handle the coffee god. Trust me, I got this. I was made for this containment. I will handle it. Don't you worry. Clinton, the Emerald Minecart. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some ale on your way past the commissary. Would 096 die from touching 049? I believe so. I believe 049's touch could deactivate through the biology of 096, but again, we can't test them if we kill them, so we're not running the test. Spooky, thank you for donating again. Check lockdown procedures inside the database. You should know this. Oh? Is that so? Double checking some things real quick. Activity. SkipNet. Okay. Foundation Standard Orientation Manual, Lockdown Procedures, Revision 3.9, Site 81, Electronic Copy. 04 Command, indeed. Site number. Options range from A. Classifications, code black. Escape of a non-terminable threat such as 096. An NTT is defined as a threat that, given the circumstances to present resources, is unable to be terminated by response teams due to the incident. Okay, interesting. We haven't used these in ages in my canon. This is archaic. But, you know, it could be rather useful to bring it back around. To answer your question, though, right now, there is not a 42A black going on over here. There was, you know, several times back in the day, all the time, because containment standards change. But as of the last couple of weeks, we're doing fine. We're chugging along. We're doing okay. Gamer, thank you for donating again. Paying the membership someone got me forward. That is what heroes do. Pass the memberships around. Green names are being farmed, are being uplifted. Soon, I won't need to make a members-only chat because everyone will be members. Site 42 staff will grow until we overtake the YouTube algorithm in our favor. There will be SCP feature-length films. There will be a SCPCU. Everything will go according to Keikaku. Robin, thank you for donating again. How many of your colleagues are of a non-typical neurotype, ADHD, autism, etc., Doctor/Director? Other than this, autistic, Mobile Task Force Captain, of course. Oh, believe you me, it turns out that most of staff is some way or other divergent in such neurological fashion. It's just, pardon, the kind of thing that gives you the obsessive need to do the work we do well. And so it's just, it's not everybody, but it is more than it is in the general populace, to be sure. Toxical Gaming, jumping ahead, thank you for this intensely generous donation. On my behalf, I would like to invite you to the executive suite of the commissary, where they will hand serve you a musical review of a meal. Very be our guest. Please enjoy. What if 8980 were to be cross-tested with 079? Very interesting. Okay. So we know that 8980 is affecting this researcher, and it is particularly, let me use very proper terminology for the anomaly affecting this researcher. SCP-8980's anomalous capabilities activate when utilizing electronic software. Whenever SCP-8980 produces, edits, deletes, or otherwise interacts even indirectly with digital information, the information is modified in some manner that negatively affects SCP-8980, whether socially, financially, psychologically, etc. Past examples of this include critical files deleting themselves randomly from devices owned by 8980. Words and files changing into similar inappropriate words, i.e. I like you to I lick you. Don't fraternize with the anomalies, please. Electronic communication being sent into incorrect addresses, often resulting in data breaches or confusion. Important programs initiated by 8980 engaging in undefined behavior, even if impossible, e.g. throwing segmentation faults despite being memory safe. electronic payments intended for 8980 being routed to incorrect recipients or failing to send under automated systems, and electronic devices randomly shutting down in close proximity to 8980, especially when owned by other individuals. I have a feeling. First of all, before I answer my feeling, chat desk would like me to let you know, in capacity as a moderator, if there is confusion about your question, or if you feel that I missed something, in order that you don't have to donate again and again to clarify, I go through the chat, but there's a lot of chatters. If you need to clarify something in a donation or a question that I didn't get right, so that I don't lose track because I'll never see your chat again or something, tag desk. And you can tag desk, who will get your answer and toss it to me behind the scenes. So Clef is here to help. Meanwhile, Ansen, yes. Oh, 8980, shiver. Remember, 8980 is a spooky content warning anomaly. It is rough if you read 8980. It's a great article. It's just also rough in a content/trigger warning sense. So, I believe if we cross-tested 8980 with 079, then we would get some particularly painful glitches for both 8980 and the site in general, because we do not need a randomizing tech anomaly giving 079 access to things it shouldn't. Do you want SCP Containment Breach the game to happen in real life? Because that sounds like a great way to make SCP Containment Breach the game happen in real life. That sounds terrifying. We do not want to leave those loopholes open. So let's, we don't need that cross test, trust me. Zerdrin, I tried to donate. YouTube consistently crashed every time I tried. Oh, man. Become a patron. I've got some early access stuff coming up soon, and I answer questions on that as much as I can as well. So it's a way to circumvent the YouTube system if it's been glitchy. Where was I? Indecisive, thank you for donating again. The coffee god is evil. He's making me drink decaf. I've never heard of anything so cruel. That's disgusting. What merciful God would act in such a manner? No, this coffee god must be brought to heel. This coffee god must be broken and made to serve its proper purpose. If there was anything we needed to secure, contain, and protect, this is it. Clinton, thank you for donating again. How many SCPs, such as 999, are simply protect, like protect the entity? Well, I mean, 999 needs to be secured and contained as well. We can't let it out into the public, otherwise it would breach the veil and everyone would know about anomalies. So we're still secure, contained, and protecting it at that way. It is something that has to be done for all anomalies. We don't just protect them. We also secure and contain them, to be sure. Phantom Reactor, thank you for donating again. Why do you want to capture Spider-Man? Jealous? Phantom Reactor, how? You're smarter than this. I know. As a Foundation staff member, you know the one rule. If it's anomalous, it goes in a box. Spider-Man, a man running around, shooting webs, swinging through the world, lifting cars over its head like it's nothing. It is clearly anomalous. It is clearly in need of boxing. So, we'll get it done. Monster Sec. Oh, hello. Good to see you in the chat. Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for donating twice in rapid fire. Go grab yourself some red vines on your way past the commissary. Hi, Doctor. How was the D-class shift? It was fine. I survived with mild bruising. You can check out the chat, the stream after that for results, because I leave all the chats up in case you want to go back and clip things and look at things. I just leave it all up for you guys. The archive is available. Doctor, quick question before my new mobile task force unit goes out to capture an escaped SCP. What is your favorite Keter class SCP? My favorite Keter class SCP, I believe, is SCP-008-J, otherwise known as a Jeff. Okay, see, I believe that 008-J is wrongly classified. Due to containment class, we know that anomalies that are safe, you can lock them in a box, they're done, they're done. Euclid, it might escape if you're not paying attention to it. Otherwise, it's containable. Jeff is clearly Keter. We cannot contain it, no matter what we've tried. And so I love Jeff to death, don't get me wrong. It is a wonderful anomaly. We've had beers in the commissary. Great guy. But also, definitely Keter class. We were not able to put it back in a box after we had those beers. So, it is, I believe it is Keter, and I also believe it is my favorite Keter. I am a Jeff truther. Thank you very much. Also, Site 42 staff, just a heads up, we are about little less than 15 minutes from finishing stream. Remember, after stream, a bunch of you were going to go raid the Desk of Alto Clef's follow-up stream over on the Desk SCP Twitch. So keep an eye on that. Make sure you have that in mind. Desk will be waiting for you. Okay. Robin, thank you for donating again. The reality sink at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Northwest Washington, D.C., 2500 United States versus SCP-729-G. I knew it was coming. I knew what you were going to do. I knew what you were going to say, Robin. Your obsession with that thing is creepy and weird. It is a terrible thing, and you need to make some different friends. Friends who don't obsess over that thing. That being said, we can't send that thing to fiddle with the reality sink, because what would happen to old Gorman? What would happen to SCP-5004 if we messed up the containment procedures with such a wild card, awful thing? So, as much as I don't like the 5004-1, is it 5004-1 technically now? Reality Sync, does it have a designation like that? It's a -B, all right. So SCP-5004-B, as much as I despise it, we can't subject it to that thing because we don't know how it will react. And we gotta finish up with old Gorman first. Thank you, Desk. SCP-5004. Trigger warning. Trump. Ugh. Gross. Kayathuite, thank you for becoming a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your service as well as your membership. MonsterSec, thank you for donating again. Oh yeah, I've been hired to be a member of a mobile task force unit. Well, I certainly hope that the hiring manner has not made an awful mistake, and that you are going to serve the Foundation faithfully, considering how dangerous the job is as a mobile task force member. I wish you the best of luck. Zero, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a bag of Funyuns on your way past the commissary. These scientists want me to take 3 pieces of candy from a bowl. They wish to test my regeneration. Can you cast a vote to veto this? Absolutely. What kind of monster takes 3 pieces of candy from a bowl? You know you're only supposed to take 1. It is a moral failure to take 2. 3 is insane. No, I would not make my worst enemy test that. All right, stream is ending in about 10 minutes. We will solve this issue. Just hang tight. Phantom Reactor, thank you for donating again. Why capture Spider-Man when you can recruit him? Well, if I trusted it, because entities are objects, not people. Do not humanize the anomaly. It makes it harder to deal with it properly. And so, we will capture it because it has shown itself to be very untrustworthy at working with the Foundation and following our bylaws. It is disloyal and it needs to be contained. Monster Sec, thank you for donating again. Well, me and the MTF got to go out. A group of 939 somehow escaped. We will be back. Oh, good job for that. Good luck anyways. 051, thank you for donating again. Remember the med bay, Dr. Sherman, I certainly will. I need to go up to pick up some painkillers either way. So, Clinton, I see that Desk is letting me know I need to elaborate on your answer a little bit. So, when it comes to anomalies that are more importantly protected by the Foundation rather than contained or secured, if it's not the first priority, what anomalies do we specifically protect from the outside world? One that comes to mind is SCP-2662, classified as Cthulhu fuck off. In that one, we have a Cthulhu-like entity that anomalously forms cults that do all sorts of weird things. And so this Cthulhu entity hides at the Foundation so we can protect it from cultists. 2662, hilarious article, really. Good one. And that one we definitely protect. That one comes to mind. I can't think of a lot of other ones that we take in for protecting them from other things. Desk, let me know if you got any, but I'm going with 2662 as my answer to that. 166 is Desk's answer. Only contained to be protected from the GOC and the Children of the Scarlet King. Oh, that's good to know. Way to go, Clef. Grim Reaper, thank you for gifting a Site 42 membership like a hero would. And if you got Grim Reaper's gift membership, make sure to thank them. Do 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 do. Mitch DeKitt, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Snickers on your way past the commissary. Spider-Man got his powers via a mutated spider. Yes, I assumed that to be the case. Many anomalies get their powers from non-anomalous means or science and things like that. It doesn't make them not anomalous at the end of the day. And so they still need to be contained. Toxical Gaming, thank you for donating again. I'm guessing it'll be a negative outcome if Mobile Task Force Unit Samsara were to be around 8980. Oh, I never thought of that. The glitches would be so bad. Oh my gosh, they are... Do not let cybernetic anomalies near 8980. Great thinking. Okay. That is why they pay us the big bucks here at the Foundation, because we have the best and the brightest working for us. Triple S, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab an icy pop on your way past the commissary. Any new ideas on experiments for the tree, Dr. Sherman? I gotta be honest. With the night I had last night, with the lack of sleep, I am blanking on new tests for the tree. I mean, I'm just about to stab it with my pen at this point. Just, Not enough to leap a deep hole so we're not destroying the tree. Just enough to irritate it. I'm going to annoy it. I'm just going to... That's my next test. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Why wouldn't it work? Nothing else has worked. This has just as much a chance as any other test. Come here, coffee. Unknown. How many D classes are expended per week? I mean, it depends site to site. We have a lot of different tests going at any given spot. Site 42 is actually on the lower range of destroying anomalies, just based on the anomaly, or destroying D-class, based on the anomalies we contain here. So, I mean, we're saving resources that way at least. Triple S, any new plans for dealing with the tree, Dr. Sherman? That's the same thing you said. Thank you for donating, but that's I just answered you. That's the same question. What are you doing? Are you trying to help the tree? Are you gathering intel to let the tree know my plans? No, I'm not falling for this. I am sending security to your terminal right now. You better watch out, mister. No one is helping that tree not to scream. Not on my watch. Ugh. Coffee God save me. Figure of speech, not the actual coffee god, who I heard is a douche. So, okay. We have made it to the end of stream, people. Yes, Zerdrin, most reasonable Dr. Sherman crash out. I agree. Completely reasonable. I am going to get these last donations and then start the stream wrap up so we can send you guys to the Desk-verse. But first, 682 Theory. He's the snake from the Garden of Eden. Mitch DeKitt, thank you for donating again. And I honestly haven't heard that, but it's not shocking. Desk is pointing out that in Clef Canon, you can't guarantee that that is not true. Huh. Now, the only thing is why... I was going to say, why would 682 offer the apple to them? But maybe it was because... Oh, okay. You can guarantee that 682 is not the snake. Clef is guaranteeing that in Clef Canon, 682 is not the snake. And, I mean, it's iffy because if it gave them the apple, then it would doom them, which is, you know... I guess 682 hates humanity and would want them doomed. But it would be more likely that something else... I think story-wise it makes more sense that 682 would hate humanity because they took the apple from the snake. And so the question is, who is the snake? And why is 682 against them having the knowledge? Which would put 682 on the side of Yahweh, which is a wild thing to hear. That... God in anime is on 682's side against humanity? Wild. Oh, wow. That is a thread that I am interested in seeing someone tug on. 682 is the new Jesus SCP. He's disgusted by us eating the apple. I agree with it being disgusted. Remember, pronouns, Clef. Come on, pronouns. Rosie, thank you for donating again. Doctor, you suggest anomalies are simply objects. As of recent, I've been demonstrating anomalous properties, but am I an it due to it? Work continues. Deepest of hearts. Anomalies are its. Yes, that's the rule. But when you work with Foundation staff, you gain privileges. And one of those privileges is we assert your humanity because we're not imprisoning you. We're not forcing you to be contained, so we don't have to dehumanize you. So yes, is it hypocritical? Yes, but everyone's a hypocrite in some way, and this is one of ours. So yes, if you work for the staff, then you can be anomalous and still be a person. That is part of the rules. I don't make the rules, I just am here to tell you about them. Brock, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some jelly donuts on your way past the commissary. Hi, bye, I love coffee as well. Fantastic. You have good taste. And with that, one more thing. What is a Lego SCP, good or bad? Jexter, we do have a Lego SCP, although I forget which one it is. 387 is some living Legos. And 7543 is a single Anomalous Lego brand toy brick. So 387 and 7543 are both Lego SCPs for you to check out. And with that, I thank you all for joining us on stream today. I hope this has been a helpful and illuminating coffee break for you all, as it has been for me. Every time I teach you guys about the Foundation, I learn something as well. And eventually, you too will teach your fellow staff members about the Foundation, and you will learn more along the way. It is the circle of education that makes us all so smart. And so, we always end stream the same way, by me telling you my favorite SCPs. Now, of course, I'm not going to say my SCPs that I've written, because that's cheating. Of course I love the SCPs I've written. If you want to read the SCPs I personally have written, you can go to the Sherm Site 42 hub and author page on the SCP Wiki. The SCPs I've written or contributed to are all there for your reading pleasure, so enjoy. And while you're there, there are some support links. You can become a Site 42 patron or channel member, a single donation at the Ko-Fi, or buy some Site 42 merch. That is ways you can help us make bigger and better SCP content and making our way to helping SCP games and films be made down the line. So we appreciate your service here at Site 42. And with that, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5320, SCP-5175, and with a big content warning, we've already talked about it, SCP-8980. So one more time through, 3999, 3043, 008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, and 8980, huge content warning. I hope you all have learned a lot. I sure have. Be safe, be well, and remember to secure, contain, and protect. I will see you in the next video. That was weird. I didn't know I could do that. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Am I still on? This is interesting. This has never happened before. Huh. Another way to turn the camera off for the credits. And in case you didn't know there's a credit song and why there's a credit song, it's because of Red from Overly Sarcastic Productions does that, and I love their channel, and she's great, and so I'm also a singer, and I like doing song time. So, in case you've ever wondered why we do credit song, that's why we do credit song. Anyways, I can't get to sleep. I think about the implications of diving in too deep, and possibly the complications, especially at night. I worry over situations I know we'll be alright. Perhaps it's just imagination. Day after day reappears. Ooh, I started this one way too high already. Night after night, my heartbeat shows the fear. Ghosts appear and fade away. Come back another day. And don't forget to go visit Desk's stream over on Twitch at the Desk SCP. Tell him Dr. Sherman requires him to complete the test post-haste. That is your raid message. Dr. Sherman expects you to finish this test post-haste. Farewell.